Hello everyone and welcome to another session of Live with Autocar. In fact, today we have a very special session because we are going to be talking about a very special car. It's the all-new Honda City. Now, this has been one of the longest running brands in India, over 20 years. I don't think there are many cars that have run that long. And it's been 4 generations and now we've got the 5th generation, so 5 generations of the Honda City in India. Don't forget, this car is actually tailored for the Asian markets and now more specifically for the Indian market. And talking to us and all about the city and its technical aspects, who's going to buy it, who the target customer is, and really the way the brand has been built up, we have Rajesh Goel, who's the Senior Vice President and Director of Autocar India Sales and Marketing. Rajesh, hi over there. Good to see you. Beside the new city, I can see you're somewhat in the office, so glad to see things getting back to normal. And, just very quickly before you logged on, what I was talking about is really the whole brand of City, because this has been really one of the most enduring brands in the Indian market. I can't think of any brand, maybe the Mercedes E-Class, which has been longer, but any mainstream brand, there's no brand that has kind of been running for so long, over 20 years continuously, as the City. 5 generations of it right now, and clearly there's a big legacy this model has built up. So clearly a lot riding on it as well. It's got big shoes to fill because with each successive generation, the expectation gets higher and higher. You have to keep outdoing yourself. So just very quickly on the City and what your thoughts are on, I would say, let's say the customer. Let's start with the customer for the City and what this brand has really been built up over the last 20 years.
Okay, so first of all, hi Hormazd, and hi all of our viewers. It's one wet, rainy afternoon today. And yes, I am very much in office, although we are practicing a lot of social distancing and attending office at 20% staff strength to keep the risk lowest. And thank you very much for having me. As you can see, we have the new City here with me and just next to me. I think I must thank you first, Hormazd, for mentioning everything that I would have liked to mention. So City has been amongst the longest running nameplates in the country. It has been around for 22 years with a base of 800,000 customers in the country and 4 million worldwide. I think the City has been able to build its brand from the very first generation of the City. If I were to summarize in my own words, it would be basically because of, the contemporary technology and styling that we have consistently brought with every generation of the City, the fun to drive element, and not to mention, the Honda famed durability, quality, reliability, which gets built into the car where you just buy the car and you can enjoy it thereon. So these are tenets which have helped City to build and enhance its reputation with every subsequent generation. And with this City, we intend to take it further. It has actually been a challenge for us and for our designers to be able to riding on this reputation to better it with every subsequent generation.
Exactly.
And it challenges their creative abilities every time around. So the concept for this City is what we call an ambitious sedan. I can keep describing it, but for ease of understanding of our viewers, very simply, it is a combination of strength and simplicity all rolled into one. And it just is a pleasure to look at and a pleasure to own and drive, is what I would like to start off by talking about this, and then we can catch it on as you ask me things.
So you said strength and simplicity. So quite, I think what I want to take off from there, with each generation, obviously it's a formula you've honed, you can fine tune it. As I said, you've got 20 years of learning. So is that something you look back on? And I want to just touch upon the learnings you've had, let's say, from so many, hundreds of thousands of customers which you all have built up over 20 years. So clearly there must be a lot of feedback. In fact, I'm sure your customer must be your biggest critic. With the first generation, there was a certain performance that was there. Then, it kind of changed. It went to the second generation, which was more, let's say, comfort oriented and economy oriented and had some radical design. Then, it moved to a more mainstream sedan. So is this feedback all coming out of what the customer is saying with each generation?
So you see, I think you've hit the nail on the head. What I would like to add, yes, ultimately we are in business because of our customers. Our job is to not make a car, but to make a product which excites, delights our customers. And every generation, whatever feedback we get, gets incorporated. In fact, just to take a step away from what you just asked me, about 25% or so of, I may be off with the figure slightly, are of our customers of city are multiple city owners. In fact, interesting that we discussed this. The day we had the launch, as the launch was going on, I got a message from one of my friends and acquaintances. With your permission, I would just like to read it out.
Sure.
He has been an owner of 3 generations of the city. He still owns the first generation of the city, which has done 80,000 kilometers. He also owns the second generation of the city, which has done 350,000 kilometers, and he still owns it. He also owns the 4th generation of the city from 2016, which has done 30,000 kilometers. And he is looking forward to buying this 5th generation. So these are the kind of customers we've had.
Right.
Of course, one thing which without change for all our customers across generations is the buyer of the city has been a very discerning buyer who wants nothing but the best. He wants to own the city. He wants the fun to drive element. He wants the contemporary styling, and he wants to be associated with the brand, with the product, which makes him feel nice as he's driving it, it makes him feel good as he's owning it, and enjoy the experience of being with it. So those are, in simple terms, the basic trends of the customer, which we have tried to maintain with every subsequent generation. Of course, we fine-tune them in technical lingo or designer's lingo in terms of how you cut it around, or how you increase the hood size, or how you keep the cabin size maximum. All of that goes in. But those are designer elements which designers look after. But to ensure that our customers are able to get the same experience with every subsequent generation is something that we have tried to maintain through this 5th generation of the city.
Right, and honestly, with us at Autocar having tracked the city and really covering all 5 generations, I think clearly what we can also say is that there is a certain fan following the car has got. Of course, there's been a lot of competition and there's been healthy competition, but I think clearly what the city has stood for in certain of its values, there's been no kind of deviation from that. I think that's very important in maintaining the brand of a car. And just before we get into the car, so I just want to touch upon who is a typical city customer. I know you did sum it up. You said he's very discerning. Today a lot of people are discerning, but is it someone who's more family oriented? Is it someone who likes to drive and also likes to be chauffeur driven in? Is there a way to kind of broad base typical city customer, who this car is really targeted at?
So you see, city, like I said, city customers, one thing which is very common is they're all very discerning customers. We have had a mix of people who are family men, also individual owners. Interestingly, city is a car which people have loved to drive by themselves. The first generation of the city used to have a lot of chauffeur-driven owners. Today, we have majority of self-driven owners. Having said that, whether they are driving themselves permanently or for some portions of time, anywhere between 25 to 30% of our customers are rear seat drivers at some point in time. And that is what data tells me. Which definitely proves one thing which I said is that they like to drive and they enjoy the drive in the city, which is a common element. Second is, I would like to come back to the durability, quality, reliability. They are people who value good things, and therefore they want to own something which is a pleasure to own and which is not an irritant, which is not a bother, and they are able to enjoy the experience drive after drive, day after day. And that is something which I think defines or distinguishes the city customer compared to maybe customers of some other cars.
Right. Well, great, Rajesh, let's just jump into the car. Why don't you give us a quick walk around? I think we've seen the car, we've reviewed it, but clearly, just I want to later then touch upon some of the engineering aspects. You talked about, even the people like to be chauffeur driven in it. It's a car that is, people do drive, but they also are driven in. So a little combination of back seat and front seat comfort, I think, is something that has been focused on, and that's been a traditional focus of the car that we've seen from the fourth generation, really pushing the comfort quotient with that kind of fantastic rear seat as well. So just wanted to I'll now ask you to just give us a quick walk around of the car.
Okay, so Hormazd, thank you very much. Let me make the wait a little longer and just allow me to spend 2 minutes on explaining what I would like to talk about the car. So this city, the 5th generation, now happens to be the longest, widest and the roomiest sedan in the mid-sedan category. And in that sense, it's a sheer pleasure to own in terms of pride of ownership. It has a second generation of what we call Honda Connect with an integrated telematics control unit with inbuilt Alexa remote voice capability, which is the first time in the Indian industry, and I'll come back to that in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It has top class safety features with things like 6 airbags with a vehicle stability assist, hill assist, agile handling assist, in addition to the lane watch camera, the rear view camera, and a whole host of other features. And this time we have a very new, all new 1.5 liter DOHC petrol engine, which is a very, very peppy and fun to drive engine, which is what I particularly love. And now with that, I would like to show you the car. But starting with coming back to what I mentioned, the Alexa remote voice capability. And please allow me to show my viewers as I start the car. How many times have we experienced on a hot summer day where we want the car to be cool when we enter? Alexa, open Honda.
Welcome back to Honda. How can I help you today?
Turn on the AC.
Please select temperature as cool, normal, or warm. How would you like it?
Cool.
Sure, turning on your AC. This will also turn on your car's engine. Please authenticate your voice PIN.
1, 2, 3, 4.
This would take about 10 seconds. Would you like to wait or explore something else?
Wait. So till Alexa turns on the car engine and the AC, imagine what a pleasure or what convenience it is to be able to walk into a car which is cool and the temperature set at the time, the number that you want, especially in summer days, and you can do it on the go.
Would you like me to check?
What is the fuel status of my car?
That's pretty cool.
Okay, checking your car's fuel now. Fuel is low with the car's tank at 10% capacity. You should get that topped up by visiting the nearest fuel station. What else can I help you with?
Thank you. See you later.
Okay, you may check your status after some time in Alexa or refer Honda Connect mobile app. See you soon.
So I checked the fuel status here. Now I have experience. These days I'm mostly chauffeur driven, but earlier on when I was driving myself, either me or we Indians are generally not very much upon punctuality, and invariably are getting late to go to office. And just as we enter the car, we realize, oh God, we need to get fuel filled in, and that takes that additional 5 minutes and all the irritation that builds up. So today with this on the word go, for example, as I'm shaving, I'll be able to check the fuel status, and like it told me, the fuel is low. So I'll keep that extra 3 minutes or 5 minutes in my hand to get petrol filled in. And please see, the car was turned on, the AC was turned on, but for security reasons, it is still locked. The door mirrors are shut. I will now open the car. So now it is unlocked as I go in. Now we are entering the all new 5th generation Honda City. So this of course is the best seat. Like I mentioned, the 1.5 liter Neo DOHC powertrain, petrol powertrain. We have a host of controls on the steering wheel. We have a large 17.7 centimeter TFT meter with what we call a G meter. In simple terms, it's like a gravity meter, which if you're driving yourself, it tells you how you're driving in terms of stability. If you're chauffeur driven, for your driver, it's a good indication where the G position is to tell him how comfortable the person at the back is in terms of stability, in terms of jerks, and the driver is able to drive better. We have a 20 centimeter DA here, and we have rotary controls with the tick sound for better feel. And now we will go to the rear seat. But before that, because I was sitting here, I would like to point to the contemporary design of the seats. I would like my viewers to see that this is the most contemporary design of the seats available in the market today. If somebody were to ask me one reason to buy this seat, I would definitely call it the seats. And with that, for chauffeur driven people, please allow me to go to the rear seat. This is possibly the best rear seat for any sedan. The cushion thickness has been increased by 3 times with full lumbar support, and leg space that you can see is ample. Additionally, the small tidbits that Honda takes care of. First time any car would have pockets designed inside the seat specifically to keep your mobile phone. Normally we are always fidgeting with the phone. We put it on the seat like this, or it's in the pocket. It's very irritating. Today you just simply put it there and you know where to find it. And we have provided an additional pocket on each seat back to take care of your Bluetooth accessories, so that you know where to find them. Just take them out and you can leave the car as you like. Coming to the exterior, I mentioned that this is the longest sedan, so please allow me to walk to the side to show you how long this car is and what a pleasure it is to look at the length. And of course the width. The width is not just the sheer measurement dimension, but it is further accentuated by the Honda or hallmark wing design of the grille, and plus the beauty of the first in segment all LED 9 array headlamps, which accentuates the presence, the road presence, and the pleasure to look at it and to own it all the more.
Right. So, clearly, I think, what we have seen is that this car has taken a big jump forward with the extra technology that there is. I think, stiffer body. I think it's improved in every area, even on the powertrain, which is really your strength, especially the petrol engine. It's again gone to the next level. I think, with this, do you feel that the city, which has always been, I would say, the barometer of the way the mid-size segment performs, do you feel that this could in fact even grow that segment, because it's so intrinsic to the mid-size sedan segment as opposed to SUVs, which are a different segment altogether? Do you think you could pull from SUVs? Do you think the way things are going forward, people might want to have, let's say, more cars with a little bit more family values going forward, and actually there's an opportunity for you with this launch?
So I think that's exactly where the opportunity lies. To be able to predict specifics in today's scenario is slightly difficult, because on a daily basis there are regional lockdowns happening, some dealers opening, some shutting. It becomes difficult. But what we experienced with the launch of the Civic was the segment, the executive sedan segment, the LD segment, which was going down, saw a huge spike upwards, a peak which developed. And that is the job which the Civic was able to do for the segment as a whole in the industry. My personal expectation from this city is that it should be able to replicate that same thing for the mid-size sedan segment, or the UC segment as we call it, whereby in terms of propping up our numbers and propping up industry as a whole is something which I very strongly expect city to do for us.
Right. Well, Rajesh-san, with that, I think that's a very optimistic note, which I'd like to end this session on. It's been very fascinating. I think a lot riding on the new city. I think there's a lot of confidence also, given the way that, the initial reactions have been. And clearly, I think, I can see that Honda is counting on this major pillar. It's actually main pillar in the, let's say, in the next coming months and years to kind of pull it through this current situation. So thanks again for talking to us. Wish you all the best, and wish the city all the best. We've also seen it grow over 20 years, and the fact that it really has established itself as a very, very strong brand, not just in the mid-size sedan segment, but in the Indian market as a whole. So thanks again for talking to us, and wish you all the best.
Thank you, Hormazd. Thank you, viewers, and everybody. Please take all precautions and stay safe and stay healthy along with your family and loved ones. Thank you very much for having me. And everybody, I strongly urge you, please go and test drive the 5th generation all-new Honda City. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thanks.